Good morning, and welcome to what I'm going to call Christian Fellowship. I've been struggling recently on how to introduce this. The Lord prompted me with the idea um, because He's been taking me to different churches, and I'm starting to look. He had me look at the church formats, and basically the church formats in this world are pretty much right along the same lines. Um, they're set up in an organized, same fashion. It's 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 like a ceremonial meeting, and I'm just thinking, you know, I'm not sure if I think if Jesus were here, but back here now, then I wonder if he'd even go to a church, because the only ceremony he needs is for us to gather and listen to him spiritually, because the churches are all in the physical vein. You go in, like I just went to a church Sunday, and then you go in and you can see the format is you have your praise songs, you have your collection, and you have your sermon, and then you're out the door. Everybody gives a hug, and then a lot of them don't see each other, the rest of the week. And I'm thinking the people in Jesus' day in the towns, when they gathered in their homes, and those were basically home churches, they saw each other all week. Most of the time, probably 2 or 3 times a day. They lived in the same communities. So anyway, if you're here this morning, and I don't get a lot of views, but I do get some people. I know Sharon views it, Karen views it. I think Cynthia gets to view it once in a while. I know that my brother Anthony views it. I think, I'm not sure if Mark gets to see it all the time. I send it to him. And Vinny, I think he gets in once in a while, but he's not all the time either. And basically, that's a views us, which is a good thing, because that's a small fellowship, small group of people that come together, and Jesus is with me. He's with each one of you. So my piece of Jesus is contacting your piece of Jesus. By you coming here and viewing this, that puts our 2 pieces together. And if another person views it, you get another piece together, to where the Jesus part starts getting stronger and stronger by the number of pieces. And you can tell this by the number of people that view it. So, that's how this fellowship thing is going to build or not build. Again, I place it in the Lord's hands. And if he wants us to gain strength and have more viewers, he's more than capable of doing it. I usually read from a book, or I have I read from the Bible each day now, and I read from some books that the Lord gave me, and I send these out, passages from them, and people like them. Now, if you want to get, you can buy these books, and one's called Jesus Calling. It's by Sarah Young, and excellent book. It's one thing each day, and everybody seems to like it. The book I was reading from before that was called God Calling, and that's another every day an entry, and that's was presented to the world through what they call themselves as 2 listeners that listened to the voice of the Lord for quite a long time, and they wrote down everything that voice said, and then they had a publishing company publish it, and then they send it out in paperback and hardback copy. And I don't know if you can get a lot of books now that, because of they're all digital, they've been reduced. You can get them online usually, the different bookstores, but you get the digital copies. I don't know if you can get hard copies of these anymore, but so if you'd like, and I encourage everybody to just take You can do the same thing with your Bible. You don't need to do these other books. But if you just take the Bible and just take some of the, the strong verses out of the Bible, like I was talking to my brother Anthony last night, and one of the lines that came up was, the Great Commission that Jesus, when the Pharisees asked him, what is the greatest commandment? He said, the greatest commandment is love thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind. And then love your brother or sister as yourself. Love your brother as yourself. Okay? And that's, Jesus said, encompasses everything. So everything you'd read in the Bible from Genesis all the way to Revelations is all encompassed in that one commandment. If you did that commandment, then you've done it all. You would basically, you wouldn't need to do anything else. That's it. If you're doing all that can be done, and Jesus said that's all you can do, that's all of it, ball of wax, then that makes it actually very simple and yet very complex. Because think about love God with your whole soul, mind, and heart. And you go back to the Bible and you think about the rich man that came to Jesus and said, Lord, what must I do to obtain salvation? And the Lord looked at him and said, you have to give away everything that you own to the poor and come follow me. And the man turned around and left because he had a lot of stuff, but a lot of worldly stuff. Jesus is not talking to him or to us about worldly possessions and the world and the flesh. And it's not about that. And yet, it's been made about that. Even in the churches, if you go to the ceremonies are just all about this world, the flesh, satisfying the flesh, our need to feel connected to God. When God's right there, you can connect to him anywhere. He is everywhere. He permeates, his spirit permeates all time and place and space. People can't wrap their mind around that. That's hard to do. So, anyway, we're going to do this, and we're just going to call it Christian Fellowship, okay? And so if you're here today, I thank you for being here. And I have an email address, and it's cuckoo, C-U-C-K-O-O, the number 4, Jesus, the number 2, at AOL.com. And I have Gmail addresses, too, I'll give at another time. If you'd like to email me and share email addresses, we can start talking back and forth by email. That's a different type of fellowship. That's not the visual, which is fine. And because when we commune with Christ, we don't see him. He can allow himself to be seen, and he has done this throughout history. Like the two women that entered all of God calling, they heard his voice. That's their claim. If you read it, if you don't believe that, then the words are just words. But if you look at it as this is the voice of Christ talking to these two women, and we're all Christians together in him, then those words would apply to us too. Maybe not personally for what the Lord wants us to do, because he can tell us exactly what we're to do. And we don't need, really, when you go to churches, the responsibility in the churches is to point you to Christ and then let you go to Christ. Not to stay with you and try to interpret and counsel you, and that's really not their purpose. People are supposed to connect to Jesus, not the church. The church is in the physical realm. Jesus is in the spiritual realm. You must connect to Jesus in that spiritual realm. And it's all possible because he died on the cross. That's possible for each and every person. You have to have faith and believe. Those are two requirements. There's no alternate choice. Those are the things you have to do. But anyway, okay, I'm going to try to get this going. And it's taken shape as the Lord wants it to take shape. And the number of people that view it will either be 1 or 2 or 3. Maybe I'll just talk to myself. That's okay, because I know I'm sitting here with him. And I don't need any man to tell me that I'm not. They can all call me crazy, whatever they want to call me. I don't care. Because I know one that doesn't think I'm crazy and that loves me beyond any love this world could ever give me. And that's Jesus. And next in line would be my beautiful wife, Judy. She loves me with the love everlasting. Okay? And anyway, we'll take it from there. Have a great day. And remember, spend all your time with Jesus. Bye-bye now.